The Fulani have Kemetic roots and are linked to migrations from the Greater Hapi River Basin. This is verified by a variety of genetic and oral data. Yoro Dyao documented the Ja Ogo, Mana, Tondian, Turmis, and Lam Toro migrations from Kemet Kush to Senegambia, emphasizing the historical journey of the Fulani people. Amadou Hampâté Bâ, in his work Injedo Dewal, corroborates this by identifying the ancestral nations Heli and Yoyo of the Fulani as originating from ancient Kemet Kush. Dr. Moussa Lam's analysis of the spatio-temporal evolution of African material industries and the Yoro Dyao migratory testimony, which traces the journey from the Hapi River Valley to Senegambia, is further validated by genetic data. Specifically, the EM2 subclade EY230129, found in the 20th dynasty of ancient KMT, and its subclades EBY102326 and EFT397246, found among the Fula of Gambia, provide genetic evidence supporting these oral traditions. This genetic link offers a tangible connection between the ancient populations of Kemet and the contemporary Fulani, reinforcing their historical narratives. Additionally, a study by Dr. D'Atanasio et al. Reveals that 30% of Fulani ancestry is derived from an ancient, unsampled group of ghost Saharan populations closely related to Ibero-Maurusian samples. These populations are modeled as a sister group to ancient Northern Africans, similar to late Neolithic Moroccans, or as an outgroup of all Eurasian ancestry enriched groups. This suggests that some non-infra-Saharan ancestry in present-day Fulani has ancient origins and is not solely due to recent migrations in the last millennia. Another study by Fan et al. Reveals that the Fulani derive 50% of their ancestry from a population related to the Amhara and 50% from a population related to the Tikari, who are a Sudanic population that are genetically linked to the Mursi people of Ethiopia. This ancient genetic heritage underscores the deep historical roots of the Fulani, aligning with their oral histories that trace back millennia. Consequently, the genetic data not only supports but enriches the understanding of Fulani migratory patterns and origins as preserved in their oral traditions. According to the oral rendition of Tiaba, version by Seydou Kane from Guédé, recorded by El Kestelut at Ifan, June 1985, the Sal family of Guédé, who are of Bay origins, have the following tradition. The ancestor Butor came from Egypt, Luti, after a quarrel with the pharaoh and traveled to northern Mauritania, specifically to the Adrar and Tagant regions near Chinguetti. He had 3 sons, Yele Butor, Barka Butor, and Birom Butor. Yele Butor remained among the Soninke and was the ancestor of Dinga Kore, in Fulani, the noble giant, who married a Fulani woman and had twins. Dinga Kore was a hunter and the father of Diabe Sise, the founder of the Ouagadougou kingdom. Birom Butor settled in Gande Galate, in Fulani, Galati equals Signhorns, in the Galam region. The Sal family of Guédé later held the title Jom Galate before becoming Lam Toro. During the migration from Gande Galate, Bakel, to Toro, where Birom founded Guédé, Galate, Birom had a twin known as Tiamaba. He carried with him the egg of Tiamaba, which would only hatch in Guédé. One day the egg hatched, and a serpent began to eat worms, then chickens, then sheep, and finally cows. This python had silver scales but was harmless. It remained hidden in a hut, unseen by others. However, Birom Butor's wife, his cousin, became curious and broke the rule. She looked at Tiamaba while her husband was out hunting. The serpent destroyed the hut, its breath causing a fire in the village, and then headed toward the river. Birom, noticing the smoke and predatory birds over the village, returned from his hunt. He understood what had happened and ran to the river, where the Tiamaba was being attacked by cats and jackals. Birom chased them away and called out to his twin, who had entered the water. Tiamaba's head emerged and he spoke to Birom, saying, "You are terrestrial. I am from the water. We will make a pact. None of your family will drown in my waters." Birom agreed, adding, "None of my descendants will harm an animal that resembles you." Tiamaba instructed Birom to return home without looking back. As Birom walked away, a herd of cows followed him from the water. When he turned around, he saw a cow fall back into the river and noticed a small man among the herd, referred to as Kaloba or Kumen by the Fulani. The family of Birom Butor remained in Guédé. the chief of the Kayamaba cult, became the Lam Toro. The Sal family descends from Birom Butor. The name Sal means those who resisted Islam. Birom Butor had 4 sons. Ali Bana Birom stayed in Gwede. Sopa Birom went to Wafalde, northeast. Malikan Birom settled in Horophonde and Kaidi. Adik Birom moved to the Bandai region, near Chilon. The third brother, Barka Butor, became the ancestor of the Brak of Wallo. The Sal family of Gwede divided into 2 groups. Some remained in Gwede and maintained the Tiamaba cult, while others founded Donae Podor and became the Islamic Marabu family, including Musa Ali Bana and his brother Ali Ali Bana, an ancestor of Seydou Kane. Today in Gwede, an elder named Détié Asti Sal, who spoke with Seydou Kane in May 1981, recounts that when he was very young, he and his mother were pulled into the waters of the Doué marshes and stayed there for a week. He claims to have seen a village and herds of cows in that area, which is believed to be the residence of a Tiamaba named Wodite. Dr. Moussa Lam's spatio-temporal analysis enriches the archaeological understanding of Fulani and West African history by tracing the evolution of material culture prototypes from the Hapi River Basin to their developed forms in West Africa. His research shows that the scepter of ancient KMT evolved into a uniquely fabricated beam, treated with fire and oil to enhance its elasticity, material resistance, and aesthetic qualities. The Hapi River Valley headrest evolved into anthropomorphic models throughout Africa, retaining the same composition base and upright hanger. Lam's work also unveils the pharaonic origin of Fulani hairstyles, highlighting lexical parallels between Fulani and Kemetic headdresses. Additionally, the harpoon instruments of ancient KMT developed into nylon conoidal tools in Senegambia, reflecting West Africans' innovation on ancestral prototypes. The Mr. Farming tool transformed from a plant fiber-braced timber prototype in ancient KMT Kush to a rivet-fastened metallic tool in Senegambia, with the Kajandu and Ilir garden hose used for saturated soils. Lam's findings illustrate a continuous thread of technological and cultural development from ancient Kemet to contemporary West African societies.